Hello, my name is Bailey Johnston. This is my case study number one for my fieldwork experience. I'm going to talk about one of my clients. For this intervention, I'm going to be using his initials as PAJA. So he is 6 years old, he is a boy, and he engages in physical aggression, including pinching, scratching, biting, peer aggression, elopement, dropping, crying, and SIB. So the assessments used for these behaviors include indirect assessments. So we use the FAST assessment. This identifies factors that influence problem behaviors answered by those that are familiar with the client. This can be technicians that work with the client daily, as well as caretakers, parents, family members, whatever it may be. So this is 16 questions and it is 4 different categories that it assesses it on. So these 4 categories are the functions of behavior. So for my client's behaviors, they all were for attention, escape, um, and access. So with the exception of elopement and dropping, those ones were attention and escape behaviors. So direct assessments include ABC data recording and scatter plot data. Those were the ones that were used for the direct assessments before implementing and designing the intervention plan. So, with positive and negative reinforcement, for positive reinforcement, we use differential reinforcement, reinforcing any appropriate behaviors during our session, reinforcing appropriate transitions, waiting, ending of activities, complying with any instructions, and functional communication. Um, my client is nonverbal, but he makes some really great approximations as well. But he does use an AAC device using LAMP. Um, so, reinforcing any functional communication that he uses during our session. He likes to ask for like tickles and squeezes. He asks for cars and Play-Doh, different types of activities. He also is working on like I want statements, especially for like I want go, I want finish. So those termination phrases as well, we always reinforce. Negative reinforcement we don't use too often, but the one I could think of is just like removing an instruction when he asks for a break. So maybe at circle time, he wants to ask for a break. So we remove that task of sitting at circle time, and it does increase his behavior of requesting for a break. But since that is an appropriate behavior, we allow that to happen. And then we just come back to circle time um, after a few minutes. So we also don't use punishment procedures, so that doesn't really apply to my case. Um, with motivating operations, we follow motivation during our session to build and maintain positive relationship. So I also do preference assessments. So we have free operant and paired choice preference assessments that we do during our session. Um, So these really help find my client's motivation for that day because his motivation might change. He might be reinforced by different items. Um, so you never really know. So it's good to do those during the session. We also use antecedent interventions like functional communication training, differential reinforcement to create abolishing operations to limit those maladaptive behaviors like aggression and elopement. Um, Prompting on the AAC for my client looks like if he's about to elope, I might present the AAC device and ask him if he wants to go. Also, if he seems frustrated, if he's making frustrated sounds, and facial expressions, prompting on the AAC. Um, Sorry, my phone keeps going off. Prompting on the AAC and reinforcing what he does want um, is motivating as well for my client. Maintaining generalization and maintenance of treatment. So we work at a natural environment teaching center. So this really helps working on programs in different areas across different people. We might do programs in the market, the library, the park, the gym. So not just the classroom, not at a table. These programs are also maintained by going into maintenance sessions. So we use Central Reach, and some of the programs are in maintenance, meaning that they were mastered previously. So they're coming back into the session just so that client maintains the skill. We also do have maintenance sessions. So they might move those in the programs into there. So we're always working on those to maintain skills. We're also working on skills like social play, communication, even outside of programming. So they might not be working on a specific target, but we're still working on it each day and in different areas and across different people. Some obstacles with these interventions include the increase of maladaptive behavior due to denied access and redirection, increase of behavior due to follow through of escape behavior. Some of these behaviors might get more intense, a longer duration. Um, Extinction for attention behaviors may cause like extinction bursts, so spontaneous recoveries are um, could come up as well. Some modifications we did make to the interventions used. We implemented high P instructions. So during redirection, if my client is engaging in a behavior such as like dropping or crying, I might do some high Ps with him and represent the instruction that was given. So these are like mastered skills that he does know. I also might break down a task into smaller steps, which has been a modification as well. Maybe he's dropping to the floor and I'm telling him to put his lunchbox away. I might bring the lunchbox closer so he doesn't have to like get up and go across the room, grab his lunchbox, and then go back and put it away. So that helps a lot as well. Also, modifying redirections based on his motivation. So, since his motivation changes so much, um, providing choices like um, paired choices. If one choice isn't available, I might bring to him a paired choice offering two different items or maybe two different locations. So, some of these outcomes with the interventions put into place are the consistency of the antecedent interventions decrease the behavior over time. Also, the consistency of the consequences and reactive strategies allow for the behavior to decrease over time. I'll notice if my client is on vacation or if maybe he's out sick for a while. Um, those behaviors do increase again. So having that consistency at ABA and at home has really benefited my client when he's consistent and the texts are consistent. Um, Also, an outcome is the increase of adaptive behaviors. So we're noticing more functional communication using his AAC device to request for items instead of engaging in maladaptive behaviors. So we're decreasing those maladaptives and we're increasing the adaptive behaviors due to these interventions. And that is all. Thank you.